This looks like magnetite right here. You can see the bluish hue, grayish blue color, and there's a very, very slight luster, just enough. It's a very hard rock. It's attracted by a magnet.
We know this is a horse whim because what we have right in front of us here is a whimstone. Right here, you can see a hole here, and the hole would have been where you'd place the peg for the horse whim. So the horse whim would go into here, the peg would sit into the hole here, and that would be the center support for the whim structure that, you know, allowed the horses to go around and rotate the drum in order to raise and lower the oar. So you'd have the horses, and the drum would be up top, and the rope would have wound around the drum and would have made its way over towards the shaft, where there would have been a head frame and a sheave wheel, which would convert which would change the angle of the rope so that it could raise and lower buckets and material in and out of the shaft.
So much history preserved because people can't get down here. You can't just walk right in. Let's do it. Wow, it's amazing what you can see here. They drove trackage along this drift here. There's a lot of erosion that's fallen in from the stope from above, but you can really see the effort that was undertaken. So any of these drill holes here were made as they were advancing the adit drift behind me. And there's evidence of trackage along this drift. This was a main haulage way for multiple stopes. The evidence of compressed air piping here for pneumatic drills. This piping once was held by these hooks. The wood is just completely deteriorated. These drill holes here all end into the rock, which is indicative that they were driving the tunnel forward. This here is a narrow gauge mine spike. It would have been used to fasten the rail to the ties because this was a major haulage way for transporting the ore from the stopes out to the mouth of the tunnel entrance called the adit.
If you look carefully here, you can actually see two ladders down into a lower section of the mine, which is now underwater. You know, back when this mine when the water was being emptied out of the miner would have been able to climb down there to access all the lower levels of the mine. I think there could be a lot of original remains left from the mine back in the lower levels. Because this has probably been filled with water for a long period of time. So if you look down here, you can see what looks to be an incline railway that goes down into the lower sections of the mine. So the ore from the lower level of the mine was filled in those cars. Those cars would have been hoisted up this incline railway by means of a hoist. The hoisting cable would come out from that shaft way up and above. If you look here, there's another ladder way down into the lower section of the mine. Again, we're at the same level as that other ladder way, so it's the same level of water, just another way to access the lower workings of the mine. But as they continued to mine this stope, they removed all the iron ore from it. It basically opened up this whole big cavern that we see here today, and they just left the tunnel here. So the tunnel is now just all opened up because all of the rock and the iron that used to be here was just all mined
toast, green meat toast, bacon, and absolute black.
What was the first option again?
Like the beer, do you think it suits what we just did today? Like,
Well,
or is it lacking?
does it have
Probably
alcohol?
don't want to hear my answer.
Well, it does have alcohol. Is that what qualifies a beer as a good post-mine trip beer?
It has to be refreshing. It has to have at least 4.7% alcohol. This has that. It has to.
I'd have to disagree with you here. Normally a post-mine beer, it's dark. You know, it's usually some type of ale.
It's a stout.
Yeah, it's usually a stout. It doesn't have to be, but it's usually a stout.
A post-mine beer has a rich head. It's in a glass. It's tapped.
Yeah.
It's always tapped, right?
Always.
And it after one beer, like you feel like you had a beer. Like you feel
And
like
it's usually not the little one. It's usually,
Yeah.
usually like that. So, might have to use two hands while you're drinking it.